Wonder Woman has arrived in theaters, and much to the disappointment of comic-conscious nerds, it went incredibly light on the Easter eggs. Sure, we were treated to an island full of Amazons that seemed pretty faithful to their comic counterparts, but the film didn't have a single inexplicable time-traveling Flash cameo. What's a Wonder Nerd to do? Let's roll up our sleeves and see what secret DC references we were able to find between the frames of Wonder Woman. And of course, super spoilers ahead. We all scream. Because it's a comic book movie, Wonder Woman borrowed a huge chunk of its content from, comic books. Just in a very general sense. However, eagle-eyed readers of DC Comics' New 52 version of Justice League were quick to spot a story beat cribbed directly from the comic pages. In the first few pages of Justice League number 3, Princess Diana has pretty much the same conversation with an ice cream vendor as she does in the film, though the comic presents a more modern setting. The story quickly diverges, however, as modern Diana is quickly attacked by parademons from another planet, while movie Diana remains hell-bent on hunting down Ares. The scene gets another adaptation in the animated feature Justice League War, further cementing the fact that despite having a pretty good grasp on pleasure, Amazons don't have anything on humans. They have an isolated island paradise, but we have Ben & Jerry's. Point, mortals. 4 Eyes. Wonder Woman doesn't have a very extensive history on screen compared to some of her contemporaries, but her 1975 TV show is a thing of legend, mostly because it was straight up goofy fun. What kind of Amazonian magic does it take to spin around to change your clothes? We never found out, but plenty of people got dizzy trying. Notably, 1975's Wonder Woman employed the unrealistic trope that if you wear a pair of glasses, you're completely unrecognizable as the same human you are without your glasses. So, when the cinematic Wonder Woman pops on a pair of specs as part of her disguise to blend in with lowly humans, it's quickly called out by Etta Candy as being completely ridiculous. Because honestly, it's about time someone did. Official business. Because Bruce Wayne is the richest man in the world, he can afford to send armored cars anywhere he wants, even if they just contain a single photograph. Meanwhile, the rest of the 99% just has to settle for the post office losing their birthday presents in the black hole that is New Jersey. Still, when Bruce sends around his Wayne-mobiles, you'd think he'd be a little more subtle about the fact that he's the guy assembling a group of superhumans called the Justice League, but no. When you're Wayne's level of rich, you spring for vanity plates, and you make sure those plates have the initials of your super secret team on them. Having the letters JL lead off your armored car's license plate is real subtle, Bruce. What does your other car say? I'm Batman? God Killer. So as we learn by the end of the movie, it turns out that the magical God Killer sword can't actually kill gods. And just like in the after-school specials of yore, the power to kick some godly butt was inside Diana all along. As far as DC Comics is concerned, the God Killer sword is generally the domain of the mercenary villain known as Deathstroke the Terminator. The far too powerful weapon was crafted by one god to kill another and was given to Earth's greatest assassin. So while it's clear that Wonder Woman's big screen sword wasn't the real deal, there are rumblings of Deathstroke appearing in the DCEU. Could we get a look at the real God Killer sword in the future? Amazon Prime. While it's not really an Easter egg, DC went all out in including Princess Diana's many friends and relatives in Themyscira. While some were named on screen, a handful are only mentioned in the credits. Every single one of these Amazons has had a few comic pages dedicated to them, even if most of them are largely interchangeable warrior women. But maybe we'll see a couple of them again in Wonder Woman 2. It's a miracle. There's not a whole lot of information about that mystery gas General Ludendorff was snorting in order to Hulk out, but DC Comics has a pretty weird history of its heroes and villains taking strange substances to perform superhuman tasks. One early example of this appeared in 1940 under the name Miraclo, a miracle vitamin that enabled a Golden Age hero, Our Man, to do heroic things for 60 action-packed minutes. While Miraclo was developed for positive purposes, it eventually fell into the wrong hands and became a substance that Batman fans will be very familiar with. Venom. Whether or not Dr. Poison's power-up gas will eventually find its way into the bubbling tubes of the supervillain Bane is anyone's guess, but the foundations have been laid to break the back of Batfleck. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.